Hello, hello. I'd like to thank you for joining. Put my glasses on here. Oh, goodness. Give everyone time to join in today. Hope you're having an amazing and awesome Tuesday. This is March the 22nd. It's very interesting that this time is going by so quickly on us, huh? And while we are waiting for more people to join, I'm going to go to my slide, my PowerPoints here. Just going to wait a little bit longer. And then without further ado, I'll go right into talking about adult play therapy. This is actually my first webinar on Zoom and is the first of many. So I'm looking forward to being able to have more webinars, normalizing adult play therapy so that more of us can be out here as adults enjoying our best life. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to move forward with our webinar today. All right. So as you can see, I'm actually showing you guys my PowerPoints here. We're talking about adult play therapy. There's a book that I was able to develop called Sacred Para Adult Play Therapy. And it's at Sacred Para because I actually developed this through my Instagram platform. This is the whole reason why adult play therapy exists for me. Now, I'm pretty certain that adult play therapy was already around. In fact, I know that it was because I've been able to connect with some amazing play therapists who are either in the counseling coaching position or they themselves are people who play. So this has already been around for quite some time, and I was fortunate enough and blessed enough to stumble upon it through the Instagram platform. So this is at Sacred Para because that's my Instagram handle, and it's adult play therapy life coach, and that's who I am. Learn how to make life your playground. So this is just a few little snippets and excerpts from the book, as well as me just being able to communicate with you guys about what adult play therapy is. So an introduction, did you know that you can still play as an adult? You can still have fun and live in the realm of your imagination. Being an adult doesn't have to be a dull experience. Play for an adult should not be squeezed into a box. And I think that so often as adults, we kind of just squeeze ourselves into these boxes and we think that this is what we're supposed to do because we've been told for so long that that's what we're supposed to do and we do it. But honestly, play should not have to be something that we squeeze ourselves into and we make it to this one size fits all kind of deal. It should be something that we enjoy doing. It should become part of our lifestyle. So that is what adult play therapy has been for me. I am constantly learning how to be able to involve myself into my hobby and make my hobby part of who I am. And I find that there's more and more adults doing this, and it's been an amazing experience. I'm going to try something a little bit different and see if you can kind of see behind me. I don't know how easy it's going to be, but hopefully you can see behind me my PowerPoint. Adult play therapy takes on the basic form of child play therapy, with the exception that the themes of adult play may be a little bit more graphic. It may incorporate more graphic and traumatic and mature themes. And it's really due to the experiences that adults have encountered in his or her life. So depending on what an adult has encountered in their personal life, they're going to involve that into their play. Compared to when you're a child, for the most part, you're going to have action figures and action heroes and probably dragons and mythical creatures, because fairies and goblins are real to children. And then when you get older, you may have encountered some fairies, and you may have encountered some goblins and monsters in human form. And so you take that and you incorporate that into your play. Now, on the other hand, if a child has experienced trauma early, if they were molested as a child, anything of that nature, they're going to incorporate that into their play. And so we would see that kind of mature theme in their play as they just really kind of work out who they are, who they're becoming, how they were affected by the trauma. And so you will see that as well. How do I play again? That's a huge question for all of us. How do I get back into the rhythm of playing, especially when it's been a huge distance, right? A huge distance from being 8 years old to now being 38 years old, or 44, or 51, or 26. How do I get back into this beautiful art form of imagination? So not all adults will incorporate adult themes. Some adults may choose to have this, maybe content with just a calm kind of theme, a comedy theme. It can be mundane, just day-to-day living, a diary kind of theme. So these are just ideas that kind of get your mind, the wheels of your mind are turning. Okay, so regardless of the kind of content or type of content that the adult chooses as the theme of their play, or even what kind of toys that you choose. I use dolls. For the most part, I have dolls, just your basic dolls. But someone else may have puppets. Someone else may use little tiny critters. Someone else may use action figures and GI Joes, and someone else may use something else totally different. They may have Legos. It really just depends on what you want to use. Someone may have puppets. Someone may have cars. Someone may have puzzles. It doesn't even have to be toys in particular. It's whatever you choose. So regardless of the type of content that the adult chooses as the theme of their play, or even if even the type of toys that they may choose to incorporate in his or her play, the act of playing, just the act of playing, has therapeutic and healing effects for adults. And that's one of the things that we want to concentrate on, is just the effects that it has for the adult. So the goal of adult play, the goal is to normalize it. Let's normalize adult play. And we want to show each other and show our global community that anyone can play. There is no formula. Play is healthy. Play is good. Play is for anyone. Play is for everyone. Anyone can play, regardless of how old that you are. You should allow yourself to just really immerse in play. Enjoy it. Why? That's always like the question, right? Why? Why? We have our who's, our what's, our hows, our where's, our why. Why? Why do I do this? I'm a life coach, and I'm also a speaker, and I'm a certified life coach. I'm a certified life coach. I have a degree in psychology. I have a degree in communications. I hold, like I said, different certificates, such as being a life coach. I'm also an art therapist workshop life coach, and I am currently in some other courses as well that I'm finishing up. So you'll be able to see that be incorporated into what I do as well. But I'm also a speaker, a mentor, an indie author, a host of a weekly social media show called Storyline Content Creation and Character Development. And that has now been modified just to adult play therapy. And that's what I am now concentrating my weekly show on. You can find that on Instagram. And I teach how play therapy is applicable to adulthood, as well as how, and I also share, the benefits of engaging in play, as far as why it is so important for us as adults to engage in play. So it's a huge question, is who is Sacred Para? Sacred Pair is me. Okay. I am RK Lemons Weber, and that is where you will that's my indie author name as well. So you can find my books on Amazon and other platforms under RK Lemons Weber. And I guess I should really get into how did I even get involved with play? Where did play come from for me? I actually had no clue that I was going to go back into play. I really thought that I was one of those, very sophisticated, modern day women, and play was just a thing of the past. But I will admit, I never got rid of my Barbies, never got rid of my dolls. My husband and I, we still did puzzles and we played chess and we did different board games. And so some people may have looked at that and been like, oh, that's really childish. But I didn't say I was like top of the line sophisticated, okay? But I did. I thought that playing was just a thing of the past. Granted, I was still huge on doing video games, and I still am to this day. I just really didn't see how going back to my dolls was something I would do. I really kept my Barbies because I thought whenever I have girls, I could give my Barbies to my girls. So you fast forward in time, and now my husband and I have been married for 14 years. We just celebrated 14 years, and we have 10 children, literally 10 children. And out of those 10 children, we have 3 girls, and my girls had went to my husband during the pandemic. Now, granted, even before the pandemic, even before it had started, they had already came to me and was like, hey, I wish we would do more with our dolls, and maybe we can sew clothes for our dolls. And we would watch videos online of other doll enthusiasts and the things that they would do with dioramas and the crafts that they would make and the clothes that they would make. And I was like, yeah, we'll do that. But we just didn't have the time, and things were really picking up for me as an author. And I was doing, more book signings, and I just really didn't see the time to, really sit down and do crafts. 2020 happened, pandemic happened. My girls go to my husband and they're like, Daddy, we really want to, make clothes and do this with our dolls. And Daddy came to me and was like, I think that this would be a perfect time for you guys to do that. What do you think? So everything was shut down. Attitude was just really at the time, why not? Why not? Why not? So we sat down, we started making Barbie clothes. We started rerouting the hair, which rerouting means just like taking off the original manufacturer hair, taking up the, going inside the head and pulling up the glue and all this other stuff. And then, putting new hair into the doll. And so we did that, and we made dioramas, and we did different crafts, and it was really enjoyable and very just cathartic, just very therapeutic. And we decided, why not take pictures? Why not post it online? So I posted it on my regular page, on my personal author page, and we used hashtags. And in using the hashtags, came to find that there was literally a doll community of millions, I almost want to say billions of people involved. And it was like, wow, this is really a thing. I had a page that I wasn't using, and I didn't have anything on it at all. And I was just like, you know what? How about we use this page and we'll just put all of our doll content on that page? Girls were like, yeah, let's do that. So we did that, and I would pose the dolls and they would come up with the stories, and it was just our time. And we would start, writing the stories and putting it online and posting it. And before we knew it, we were getting like one person to follow us and second person to follow us. And we were getting comments, and it was like, oh my God, we're getting feedback. And the story started feeling so good. And it was just so much fun. Before I knew it, I kind of like told my girls that, hey, how about mommy do this? And mommy was trying to just have her time to be able to create her own content, and I was able to put more adult themes into it. Now, mind you, my girls do still help me to this day. They still get the dolls dressed. We still have those times where, I'm taking the pictures and they're coming in with their conversation of what's taking place. And then, I take those conversations and put it into the into my post. So we still are able to create and play together, which is what is so awesome about being able to be a play therapist, is that it allows me time with my children, with my hobby, with what I enjoy, as well as time to be able to express myself creatively. So it's a wonderful outlet on that front, as well as just being able to become who I need to evolve into. But like I said, it wasn't something that I planned. It was literally something that I said yes to. And I'm so glad that I have, because in saying yes, I now host a weekly show. And it started off about storyline content, create storyline content and character development. So it started off with that. And we still, to this day, talk about storyline. And I'm huge on storyline. I love storyline. But then it evolved into me talking to other doll enthusiasts and other people who do play therapy as well and use dolls. And even if they don't use dolls, if they talk about movies and they write movies and they're playwrights. And so we talked about, how do you develop your characters? How do you create stories? Where do you get your ideas from? And you can find those collaborations on Instagram, and some are actually on YouTube. You can find some of those videos on YouTube. I'm currently still uploading videos because it's a lot. And so my team and I are still uploading those videos to YouTube. But you can find all of those videos on Instagram and really find some great play therapists who have developed very intricate storylines. Some of them are very mature storylines, and some of them, not just being mature as far as the nature of the content, and then some of them are more like your, very like fluffy, happy-go-lucky kind of storylines. And some of them are pictures, and some of them are, photos of fashion. And so that's been an amazing journey. I've talked to people in Germany. I've talked to people in Nigeria. I've talked to people in all these different, in Japan. So I've talked to people in so many different cultures and different countries. And here, of course, in the States where I am, it's just been such a fulfilling experience. So that's something that I still do. And we haven't had as many collaborations recently, but we are still in communication. I'm still in communication with other doll enthusiasts as far as being able to do that. Now, the awesome and wonderful thing about being able to do your play therapy online is that you do get a chance to take those pictures and post it and create, short videos and reels and post it on there, and then get this involvement and this engagement with your global community of what you're doing and how they do what they're doing. And then you guys network and form, relationships and friendships and bonds, or you just are able to socialize. So that's been an amazing experience for me, as well as with other creatives. So that is a huge benefit to play therapy when you do that online. So I will continue on with our conversation about play therapy. I am pulling up the PowerPoint again. Okay, so we've already talked about who I am. In 1961, Ham Gennett coined the phrase, "the child's play is his talk." This is just a really brief history of what play therapy is. He said the child's play is his talk and the toys are his words. Gennett's phrase was the definition of expressive therapies or play therapy. The child's play is his talk and the toys are his words. And that's something that we can't forget, and we shouldn't forget. We should never, ever forget how important that play therapy is to us in our language and our expression of language. And play therapy began with how people would observe children at play. And we really thought at the time, and still to this day, we can think that we're so beyond that because we're adults that we don't always observe how we play. And yet, if you ever notice in conversation with yourself or in conversation with other people, and life gets overwhelming and stressful, one of the key things that people say is, I need a vacation. I'm sorry. In this modern day time, you probably say, I need a vacay. Right? Right? So there's this desire for a vacation. And the reason why we want a vacation from our ordinary life is because we want to play. We want to play. We want to get out in the sun and do whatever we want and go to the fair or go play golf or go do basketball or go swimming. We want to be able to enjoy ourselves without having rules. We want to be able to enjoy ourselves without anyone bearing over us and telling us that we have to get this done by a timeline and just feeling the stress and pressures of being adults. We want to go back into being kids. And what do kids do? They play. And not all kids do get a chance to play. I don't want to generalize this because there are some kids that are growing up in very traumatic and stressful situations, and they don't get a chance to just pick up a controller and get on a gaming system, or they don't get a chance to go outside and go, go swimming or get the basketball and shoot some hoops or climb a tree. They don't get those kind of things, especially now when you look at how times are and kids are trying to literally dodge missiles. And this has been going on for quite some time, not just with what's going on currently in our global culture, our global community, but it's been going on for quite some time. So not all children are able to play on that level. So I don't want to generalize it and make it seem that everyone who's a child just gets to play and not have any worries, because there's a lot of kids that do have worries, who do have to come home and take care of their younger siblings because either they don't have parents or they're raised by a single parent, and so they have to pick up the slack while the other parent, while their parent is at work, and so they have to be the one who comes in and makes the food and make sure that their younger siblings are doing their schoolwork and make sure that they stay on top of their schoolwork. So not all kids really do have the ability to just have this carefree lifestyle, but for children who do, they're able to express themselves through play, and so play literally becomes their words. Play therapy is the environment and experience where children learn about their world and experiences in the world that they live in. The children use their toys to express what they feel. The toys and the play combine to give children the ability to express what they feel where? On the inside. So a lot of times kids are not able to express what they feel verbally. One, they may not have all the verbal tools to do it, so they can't really articulate what's going on the inside. And if there's like this ball of confusion going on, and they may be in a dysfunctional household, how are they going to have the healthy words to speak what they're feeling on the inside? Well, play does that for them. Play allows them to be able to speak. It's the same thing for us. And when I say this, as far as with children, I'm not saying this to put us on the back burner or to make it seem like we're outside of play. I'm saying this because this is the history of what play therapy is about. It started off with the observation of how children are able to use their toys as tools of language. So that still applies to us as adults. So they are able to communicate what they feel on the inside, especially when they are not able to articulate their emotions verbally. The tools for play therapy can vary from toys. It can be clay, it can be pencil drawings, it can be sketches and coloring, sand tray, bibliotherapy, and there can be many other various forms of play. So it is not minimized just to one or two things. Play therapy is an incredibly old form of therapy. There are many pioneers of the therapy, such as Anna Freud. In 1928, and yes, that is the daughter of Dr. Sigmund Freud. Margaret Lowenfeld, 1935, Melanie Klein, in 1961, therapists expanded on the concept of play therapy by encouraging various forms of play, such as J. Solomon in 1938 has the format of active play therapy, whereupon specific toys are utilized to help children set up scenarios to process specific issues. Toys as the tools. Toys are the tools for play therapy because they represent more than just plastic items of merriment. Toys that are more family oriented may represent the atmosphere, whereas scary toys may represent mistaken beliefs, perceived threats, and even past traumas. Aggressive toys may express control and trust issues. Therapy has uncovered that toys are expressive of what a client feels about their family relationships and the practice of new behaviors. So I've seen many different times, like I said, I'm thoroughly involved in our doll community through Instagram and even through Facebook, but I really do like Instagram and somewhat with TikTok, but I really do like Instagram and and then also YouTube. So it's always different platforms. But when I look at the different storylines and I even conversate with other play enthusiasts, one of the things that I have found more so than often is that people will use different toys and different dolls to express what they feel. Some people will use an actual dinosaur to interact with their doll. I have seen people use more aggressive GI Joe dolls as someone who may be an aggressor in a storyline, or even a doll that may look very, very intimidating, but yet have this heart of gold. And so it tells a whole lot about what someone may have gone through in their own life, as well as the different stories and scenarios that have helped to shape them as a person and shape their story. So you can really learn a whole lot through the toys that are chosen. And then when the story is associated to the toys, then you get a broader sense, and or I should say even more of a specific sense of what that person has experienced in their life through the storylines that they choose. And if it's not something that they personally went through, it's still something that they were magnetized to story-wise and felt the need to put onto the platform of the social media platform. So play therapy has been cited to decrease a wide range of child problems, for overcoming traumatic experiences, for developing expressive freedom and creativity, and for building self-esteem and more mature pro-social behaviors. And this comes from the child-centered play therapy model. You will see that play therapy really leaves the responsibility and direction of play to the child. So it really allows the children to be the driver, if you will, of the car, and they're able to say and do what they want with the toys and create the story that no one else can shape but them. And that's the same thing for us. And play therapy is very, 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 very healthy. It is healthy. It's healthy for us. It's healthy for kids. And it's so important for us to not look at toys and such and say, oh, well, that's just a child's thing. No, no, this is something for us to get involved in, so that whatever traumas and issues that we've had, we're able to hash those things out in our storyline. We're able to create a story, create the character or characters, and involve them in the play so that we can be able to rid ourselves of whatever issues that we may have. Now, on the other hand, if you have like a sparkling childhood, you didn't have any issues that took place as an adult, then play therapy is still something that you can enjoy, just to be able to relieve any of your daily stress and be able to have fun. There's nothing wrong with having fun. So if that means popping out your Legos and, just creating this diorama and making a Harry Potter castle, do it. What's the meaning behind play therapy? Well, Charlotte Boulers, 1951, stated in her book that research identified signs or symptoms of client emotional disturbance in stand trait play therapy. And there's 6 identified classic worlds: the unpeople worlds, empty worlds, disorganized, chaotic worlds, rigid worlds, worlds with rows, fenced, closed worlds, and aggressive worlds. So these are all different kind of worlds that people will create, and I've seen them in people's dioramas. I've literally seen unpeople's worlds where people will have dioramas and they have them fixed up, especially like in 1/6 format. So you have different dimensions, you have like 1/6 and 1/12, but they may have like a 1/6 scale, or even a 1/12 scale. 1/12 is even smaller. And so they'll have these dioramas set up in beautiful props, and there's no dolls at all. And that's what is comfortable for them. That's what helps them, be able to get their play out. And so there's all different forms that people will use. And in a later webinar, we'll go through those 6. Healthy living. And that's really what this is about. That's what adult play therapy is about. Healthy living. Healthy living involves play, and play should not just be allocated for golf during a seaside vacation, yet it should be a lifestyle. Play is just as much a basic need as water and shelter, as air, as food. We need to play. We need to play. You need to play. I need to play. When adults deny themselves the liberty of play, adults will often find themselves, listen to this, embroiled in stress, in bitterness, defeat, depression, or just having a lackluster for life. Is that you? Do you feel stressed? Do you feel bitter? Do you feel defeated? Do you feel depressed? Do you just have a lackluster for life? Is everything just same different day kind of attitude? If that's you, you may need to play. In fact, I know you need to play. In fact, I know without a doubt you need to sit down on a couch, get a controller from the Xbox or a PlayStation, and just start rocking out with some games and just playing. Or go ahead, get the chessboard out and play a game of chess, or get the life board out or Monopoly out, and allow yourself that good 2 hours of just sitting down and playing Monopoly, hopefully with someone else, because that is a long game, especially if you play it by yourself. Or get some Uno cards out. Do some Uno cards. Get a regular deck of cards out. Play with a regular deck of cards. Do some tongue. I'm just saying, do something that involves play, because that is such a huge stress reliever. And that's what I've learned more than anything when I watch my 10 children at play, is that stress, it is not even in their radar. I don't care what happens throughout their day. Stress is not, it's not on their radar, because they involve themselves in play. They immerse themselves in play. Play is a lifestyle for them, and play should continue to be a lifestyle for us. Adults who play are world changers, and they change the world in a positive world, in a positive way, each and every time that they pick up a toy, that they pick up a sketch pad, that they draw, that they write lyrics to a song and attach it. And then they put notes to it, because now you literally created a song, you created a melody, you created music. When they photograph the sun as it sets, or when they choreograph a dance, they're changing the world. They're making the world a better place to live by making themselves better. So they don't just stop right there, because then they post it. Because remember, we're in this digital realm. We're in a digital world right now. They post it so that all of us can see it, and we all get to experience it and live in their healing. This is healthy living, and there's no coincidence at all that health and healing are linked together. It's literally one and the same. That's why I'm like, it's not really a coincidence. We could look at it and be like, oh wow, what a coincidence. But it's not really a coincidence. It's literally one and the same. They go hand in hand. Adults should play, and we need to normalize that. This is adult play. Adult play therapy is something that we need to normalize, and we need to feel okay about doing ourselves. So I am available. I'm available for consultation. So if adult play therapy is something that you're already doing, you should still call me. If adult play therapy is something that you're thinking about doing, you should call me. If adult play therapy is something that you don't think you have time to do, you should still call me. If adult play therapy is something that you say, I have time to do, you should still call me. You should contact me. Either way, no matter what avenue that you are taking with adult play therapy, contact me. Contact me. Contact me through email at sacredpera@outlook.com. That's SACREDPERA @outlook.com. And that's Outlook, OUTLOOK.com. You can also contact me through direct message at Sacred Para, and you'll find me on Instagram. My website is currently under construction. definitely stay tuned for future webinars that we're going to have through Zoom, because we are going to do this again. That's what I said at the very beginning of this webinar. This is not going to be the last time. We're going to have many more webinars which we're able to discuss adult play therapy and normalize this thing, make it something that we can see ourselves doing each and every day. You want to allow yourself time to enjoy you. I want to enjoy me. I want you to enjoy you. One of the hottest topics to literally hit social media platforms is this one word. It's one word that I have seen used over and over again. And it's still to this day. I think I first saw it in like 2019, and then it really kicked up in 2020. You still see it in 2021. You still see it in 2022. And I am without a doubt certain that we're still going to see this in 2023. And it's called self-care. Hashtag self-care. This is what adult play therapy is about. Hashtag self-care. So if you sit there and you say, I don't have time to do adult play therapy, but I have time to get my nails done, it's possible that if you have time to get your nails done, that you have time to invest in a hobby that you would want to do. Maybe it is surrounded around nails. Maybe that is your play. And maybe it's more than just going to get your nails done. Maybe you could find out how you yourself can end up getting involved with doing nails. And then you can take some classes on doing nails, and you can do your own nails, and you do your friends' nails, and you do family members' nails. Before you know it, you are involving yourself and immersing yourself into a whole new lifestyle that can be transcendental, transcending. There you go, right? Because it'll take you from being right where you're at right now and then pushing you beyond those limits. And so as you grow and you develop and you're learning about nails and you're doing nails and you're doing your nails and you're doing strangers' nails, and then you're taking pictures and you're doing nail art, you have allowed yourself to grow and expand by doing something that you enjoy, that you didn't know that you could even do until you started. So that's just an example. You have time. It's just creating boundaries and then prioritizing. And we'll get into that during another live as well, or another webinar, I should say. So definitely continue to stay focused on these webinars that we're going to be having, because we're going to have more. Stay connected with me, like I said before, through Instagram. And you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. My website, like I said, is currently under construction, but you can connect with me through my email at sacredparent@outlook.com. I'm available for consultation. It is a free consultation, the very first one. And after that, of course, you will have to pay, but we'll get into all of that as we talk. So I want you guys to have a very awesome and amazing Tuesday. Thank you for joining. I look forward to meeting with you guys again on this platform, as well as having you join me at Sacred Para. Remember, every week on Saturdays, usually 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, unless I'm doing an international talk. Then whenever I have those talks and discussions, I usually have that at a different time, because we try to make sure that we coordinate our times where it's acceptable for both parties. But for the most part, it's at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. So check out those lives. Those are also available on YouTube. So I thank you guys again for being with me. If there aren't any questions or comments, then I'll leave it a little bit available if anyone has any questions or any comments, anything of that nature. I do hope that some questions were answered for you during this webinar, and just letting you guys know also, before I do conclude, the book is available online. You can go to Amazon and you will find the book at Sacred Para, Adult Play Therapy Life Coach, how to make your life a playground. That book is available online. You can get that one on Amazon. Definitely check that out. Get it so you can have it in your hand. I will be referencing that book and talking about that book during these webinars, but I see why not have it in your hand so you can follow right along with me. You can already read it. You can already know what I'm talking about. Who knows? You may be the next life coach. So let's make this something that we do together. And that's really what my goal is to certify you guys to be life coaches just like me for adult play therapy. So I will talk to you guys again. I thank you. You guys have an awesome and amazing Tuesday. I see that there's no questions and no comments, so that's a very good thing for me. You guys have a very good day. Bye bye.